Even the most correct people still lose it from time to time, or if not, they repress themselves. But it's very natural and very normal. From time to time, just find some situations that trigger you and you may lose it a little bit. And although that's absolutely okay and it's very human, another situation is that you have someone in your family, someone at work, or some specific situation that always triggers you and make you behave and say things you actually don't want to. So the traditional strategy for this is just to vent out, go for a walk, and just ignore it, or just punch a pillow or something like that. And although that can be useful, that is really not going to the root of the problem. So it cannot ultimately resolve the situation. If you want to do so, follow these 5 steps. So the first thing you want to do is to find a space. So, and sometimes, get for yourself some minutes where you can just go out. Maybe you can go in the toilet. I don't know, where is your situation? Picture yourself in that thing that triggers you all the time, that person that triggers you all the time. And whenever you notice you're about to go for this behavior you normally regret later, just go for the toilet, or just find a space. Like people, when they go for a smoke or something like that, they just sneak out for a couple of minutes. That's okay. Nobody notices if you do it right. If you are obviously saying, hey, I'm coming back, 1 second. And if you check on your phone, people will think that is normal. You're going to make a call, whatever excuse you can find, that actually will help a lot to do it in the right moment. So that's the first thing you need to do. The second thing you need to do is to tap into the power of acknowledging your body, how it's expressing it. I mean, that your body, when you're about to get angry, there is a feeling coming in. And if you would have the time that normally we don't have to, that's why it's so important to make space and time for it, going outside of this, removing yourself from the situation, you will notice that your body is actually more tense than usual. So if, for example, let's say you're in a Christmas dinner with your family and someone's just nagging at you, and you know this is gonna happen, or something like that, or your boss, or another colleague at work, whatever it is. Let's say you just take the easy option, the toilet. No one can say you can't, right? Hope so. And then when you go there, just scan your body a little bit, and you will notice there are certain parts of your body that are more tense than others. Definitely a great thing of doing this, you will also notice that your breath start going into fight or flight response, like you're nervous, you're getting ignited. There's this thing this person said to you, or there's this situation that's always making you feel miserable, or you think you need to defend yourself in an aggressive way. So you actually controlling the way your body is reacting to it, it reduces tremendously your reaction. It gives you a lot more control than you could imagine. So actually taking some time to have a couple of deep breaths, but not just breathing, because you could breathe and still be relatively tense. So I'm saying, actually, no, try to notice if there is a part in your body, just for practice, do it right now. Notice there's a part in your body where there is some tension that is completely unnecessary. For some reason, sometimes we build tension here, or in your neck, your shoulders, your back. Just notice that tension and you breathe slowly and smoothly. You will notice that to some extent, you will be able to undo that tension. That the more power you free from that tension, the more you're going to be able to react and recondition yourself in the positive way. The third thing you want to do, this is where things get really revolutionary. This is something that nobody does, and it's crucial and important because we're not used to do it, especially when we are feeling like that. And the third thing, probably the most important step, is that you have to embody the emotion. So instead of running away from it and not want to feel like the way you feel, that you are maybe desperate, there's a sensation of you that I cannot deal with this, how this person could say this, or that reaction that it makes you feel like you have to fight, or you just get like completely blocked. Whatever it is for you, just feel it in your body. What we normally think emotions, and think about right now as I'm talking to you, we're not talking, unfortunately. Think about, how do you feel? Most people will say, well, I'm not exactly sure how do I feel now, because we are not used to feel our emotions in your body. But that's exactly how you feel an emotion. How otherwise you wouldn't tell what is to be angry, what is to be happy. you feel it in your body, but it's in a kind of a subtle way that we normally don't pay attention to it, although we notice very strongly. So in this case, if when you're removed from the situation, calm down a little bit, just externally, just calm down. There's no like a huge reflect intention in your body with that. You're breathing slowly, relatively slowly, still piss off, but maybe start, instead of running away from the situation, trying not to be angry or not trying to be upset by any reason, you just let it be there. So feel your body, feel your inner body, as Eckhart Tolle says, and just notice how does it feel, because it's just a sensation in your body. You don't need to run away from it. It's not the person, it's not the situation, there's nothing about it. It's just a sensation in your body. There's nothing to fear, there's nothing to fight. But the important thing is that we normally don't do that, and that reinforces and gives space for that anger or that upset to grow in you. But if you actually watch it and monitor it, it tends to, at least it will freeze. It won't grow. Because the moment that you see the anger or the upset in your body, you will notice that it kind of gets a bit kind of start relaxing. And if you have strong meditation and concentration skills, you could actually dissolve the whole thing right away. That's one reason why you should meditate every day. But anyways, normally for most people, you start just feeling your body, giving yourself a bit of space to notice and to accept whatever is the emotion. That's okay. You're on your own. You don't need to pretend anything. So just feel how it feels in your body. Does it feel in your chest, your stomach? And as you go through all these sensations, you will notice they start losing their power over you. That's a very crucial step. Otherwise, you cannot do the next two steps. The next step, when you feel like you're surfing it, it's there. It is there. But still, you notice, okay, there's a sensation. I don't feel so trapped by that emotion. Then start noticing your mind. Start noticing your thoughts. And you're going to notice that actually there are certain thoughts that come over and over again, and they're trying to trigger it. Like a sparkle, like they're trying to burn you in fire. Like, oh no, I can't stand this. There's this kind of thoughts that normally are kind of judgmental, are desperate. Most of the time, they are clearly negative. But anyway, sometimes you just feel that you're defending yourself and you're just trying to go through the reasons why the other person is wrong or things should be different. And nevertheless, just notice, feeling that emotion in your body, just notice how these thoughts are actually triggering you. Because if you do that, you have discovered the most powerful thing. Because then it's not the situation that is triggering you. It's that you notice that it's your thoughts, your programming, your inner dialogues that is actually triggering the situation, the emotion, sorry. So if you do that enough, the same way that it happened with the emotions in your body, as you see the thoughts, they start losing the power to trigger your emotions. And you see how you get little by little out of it. So if you do it long enough, at some point you see it coming, and actually you will be able to ride the situation a lot easier and smoothly. But let's say you have a bad time. Just go through, just notice, don't judge. You maybe you're right. You probably are right that the other person is just treating you wrongly, says something that shouldn't have said. But nevertheless, just notice the fact that this thought is triggering the emotion in you. And when you do that, you will have dismantled the power of that thought over your emotions. Just a little bit, but it goes in, it's just a sort of a skill. So the more you do it, the better you will come at it. Probably you're not going to definitely uproot something that's been there for years suddenly in just one moment. You could, but normally it just doesn't happen. And once you're able to do that, you're going to start noticing, okay, yeah, this is my emotions, this is my thoughts. And a new opportunity appears, which is the fifth step, which is to start playing around. What if you have different thoughts? Because every situation you can always reinterpret in different ways. So even when someone is, let's say, is hurting you with the things they say or the things they do about you, you can still understand that normally most of the time this person is suffering already, completely unrelated to you. And it's okay, and it's really normal that you don't get to feel compassion for this person. But the fact that you actually understand that there may be a chain of things that happen for that person to be like that, and then is maybe discharging on you. So I'm not saying that you should, of course, find a way through the situation, but you don't need to go for it and let yourself be triggered by whatever this person does or says. So if you start reconsidering the situation, suddenly you can regain your power. And in this way, you can suddenly just choose a different thought that it doesn't feel so frustrating. And so you know this, okay, you know what? I'm actually even sorry for that person. Or why do I have to defend myself? I'm obviously not that kind of person. Why, when someone tells you that you are, imagine that made a judgment on you or value or something like that. Well, if you don't feel that is right, then you don't need to defend yourself. You're just right. You don't get a discussion with people if the sun comes out in the morning. It just does. Nobody have an argue or have a belief about it. It just happens. In the same way, if you feel that you're doing what you can in the way that you can and you're doing the right thing, someone comes and say you're doing the wrong thing and you should be doing things differently. If you know you're right, then why you should be thinking that you have to react to that? So you may start going to the position of feeling a certain kind of empowerment on your own. A new attitude, just to say, but you need to be choosing the thoughts one by one. And what I described you in 5 steps, it may take a while, but you certainly, absolutely could turn around any deep ingrained behavior you have of yourself where you notice that you're not behaving at your best. But especially I strongly suggest to do it if you have one person or one situation that is triggering you always, that is normally killing your average good vibe in your life. It is killing over time. So instead of avoiding that person or avoiding that situation that you know many times is just impossible, you can absolutely find any way of doing it. But it requires a lot of a clear intention to be honest with yourself and not to be afraid to feel your feelings, to accept them, and to learn about them and to understand the mechanics between your thoughts and your emotions. And when you do that, little by little, you will realize that actually you have way more power over your mind and your emotions than you think. Hope you find that useful. See you next time.